Hi guys, welcome back to 40 Plus and Unfiltered. In today's video, I'm sharing with you 10 tips or 10 lessons, in fact, I learned after turning 40. So the first one's going to be, guys, and something that I have covered on one of my previous videos, is please stop comparing yourself to other people. And I was guilty myself all the time, comparing myself to my friends, my neighbors, and everybody else. Okay, and we're talking about, generally, it was material things. What sort of house people had. Oh, why have they had a bigger house than me? The expensive car that I had. In fact, some people used to change their cars, every 6 months to a year. What sort of designer clothing that they had. And I wanted to have all of those things. But the point is, I was comparing myself to those people. But after the years, guys, you actually learn to understand, in the majority of the cases, those people that do have all of those things, and especially people that deliberately flaunt those kind of things, are in fact in a lot of debt. And it's actually made me giggle a little bit, because I spoke to somebody quite a while back, and we're talking about, a good few years ago, one of my friends, and he always had a new car, and you're thinking, oh my God, and you compare yourself to that person, thinking, wow, he must have been doing really, really good. He keep changing their cars every so often. It's like, whoa, he must have been earning loads of money. He's like doing really, really well. And by doing so, you make yourself feel really bad about what you have or what you do. But then after having a certain discussion with a person, you'll find out that in fact those people are in a lot of debt. And the people quite often have their cars on a PCP, financial agreement, basically means that that person could drive the most expensive car, okay? And they might change their car all the time, because all they do, they rent the car on the agreement for, say, £1,000 a month, but in fact they might live in a tiny studio flat. So potentially this is trying to get you guys, your thoughts in the perspective of comparing yourself. If you are in the disposition of comparing yourself to people with what people have, you might see somebody driving a really expensive car with a big smug face, grin on their face, right? But you've no idea on their financial situation and where they live. So somebody age of 50, 60 might drive a really expensive car, but has nothing to show for it at home, have no family, have, maybe renting this house, that kind of thing. Or it could be in a lot of debt. So really, one of the most important, well, they're all actually important, but the good advice there, just don't compare yourself, because we're all different. Our financial situation is all different. And I now learn to understand, I much rather drive my little van, okay, the old van, and not to have tons of debt with me and then live in, say, a good house and eat a decent food, rather than drive really expensive car and literally have nothing else to show for my money. The next one on the list, guys, is buying things that don't matter. And I do apologize, because some of those 10 tips might kind of intervene together. But point is, just stop buying things that don't matter. I will put the cars in that, okay? It is nice to, if you earn the money, it's nice to have a nice car. I totally understand. It's nice to have nice things. But over the years, I've found we're always bombarded with the consumerism, be it from the adverts on TV and the magazines, anywhere you go, whatever you see, the community, the people, not community, but all of the people that are powers of be, okay, want to show you something because they want us to buy the thing, okay? They constantly want us spending money, but then you realize that so little is actually matter. Nowadays, a lot of things you buy is absolute shit. It's just things don't work, things are not made properly. But again, we'll talk about this on a different video, but if you, and I'm looking back at myself at a younger age, people like to collect things. People like to spend money on certain things that don't matter. And at the time I used to collect things, as we do. We seem to go through the stages of wanting to collect either one thing or the other. But this is a waste of money, because in the end of the day, you grow out of the whole tendency of collecting stuff. In some instances, some people stay with this until the rest of their life, and they like to collect certain bits that are maybe important. That's fine. We're all different. But generally, buying things that don't matter. I remember going and buying things for, just to say Halloween decorations, because everybody tells you that's no longer acceptable to have the same cushion on your settee from the summer all the way to the winter. You have to change your cushion like 4 times to go with the seasons. But guess what? You don't. This is all just end up being waste of money. Taking pride on yourself, on your house, it's one thing. But wasting money on little things that just don't matter. If I now look back, and if I think I probably add up all the stuff I ever spent on the little things that don't matter, and I'm then going to the charity shop, that will be absolutely horrendous. So word of advice, guys, right? Carefully think about what you're buying. Okay, and I'm talking about the little tutti things there. If you really need the item, you can't do without, buy it. If you don't, then just put that money away. Next on the list, guys, is little things matter. Just the little things. And again, it only comes, I think this one comes with probably with the age, where the little things of just be able to sit down, have a nice cup of coffee, or treat yourself to, say, a nice little pastry or something like that during the day, or sit down, say, for 10 minutes outside in the sunshine during the, your lunch break, that kind of thing. The little things. So think about what you currently do and think little things that make you happy. And the suggestion is, guys, find a little bit of time to give you that tiny little things that make you happy. That's going to make a whole world of difference to your well-being. I can assure you that. Next one is, do not wait for perfect time for anything. Perfect time does not exist. We all know times fly, right? Time does fly. And myself, again, many instances I remember saying, well, this is just not a good time. I've got to wait for this. I've got to wait for that. Whether you're looking to move a job, whether you're considering moving the house, whether you're considering having the children, anything potentially you're thinking and you think, oh, do you know what? It's really not a good time. It's not a good time. It's never going to be a good time. Okay. It's never convenient time to have children. It's never convenient time to change the job. It's never convenient time to move the house, because all of those things take a lot of effort, take time, and take money. So it's never going to be a perfect time, because as your life goes, life changes and things in life changing. And at the moment, when you think, oh, this is not a good time, for example, to have children, well, to be fair, in a 5 down the line, maybe 5 years down the line, when you do decide to have children, you might be physically not possible. Or things might change where you wish you had children because now you have no ability, or see, trying to understand what I'm trying to say. Anything that you're trying to do when you think you cannot do now, do it now, because nobody knows what the future holds. Life is short, time is short. If you've got something you want to do it now. Next one on the list, and again, I've vaguely touched on this before, is set the boundaries with people. Set the boundaries and don't be a pushover. Stop pleasing people. I said to you guys, I'm guilty as charged of being trying to please everybody all the time. Okay, whether it's, you think friends at the time, family, you break yourself backwards trying to make sure that people like you, that people accept who you are, and you do things because you want to please people. But guess what? It's just not worth it, because half of the time the people you're trying to please are not your friends and are not worth it. And already I said, again, if you haven't seen the previous episode talking about it, do have a look. But generally, okay, set the boundaries. So make sure people understand what's expected from you. Because if you're sounding like an open book, okay, and you're open to everything and do everything people ask you to do, this is kind of sets the pattern for the future relationship of yourselves with the friends, family, whoever it is. So if you set the boundaries, then people know what to expect and you won't be pushed to the limit of what you want to give them. Next one is kind of a biggie, but invest in your future. And I know it sounds really deep, really out there, and it's investing. I'm not talking about financially, like investing tons and tons of money in the future, but it's very important at the very young age to think what your future is going to hold. And again, I know 100%, being younger, people say, well, you need to think about what's going to be happening when you're going to retire, what you're going to do, where you're going to live. And the other think, whoa, hold on a minute, I'm still a little bit too young. Well, I tell you what, you don't stay too young for too long, okay? Time does fly. And it's very, very important to understand where you're heading with your future. And I'm talking about, of course, every situation is different for everybody. Your lifestyle, what you do is different, but do not neglect the thought of where you want to be when you're older, because things you do now will have a huge impact on where you are in the later ages. So for example, for us, if we're talking about, I think, the retirement, a lot of things with retirement is having a pension or having money or savings to pay for your retirement and have a place that you're comfortable living. So for ourselves, we made a decision of purchasing our first property very early on. I was 18 years old, my husband was just a little bit older, and we bought the tiniest flat going. It was like a little studio flat, but it was ours. That little step made sure that put us on the property ladder. Because, see, I know things are harder now. Things are much harder now with the houses and the prices are absolutely horrendous. But, okay, those little steps, the little sacrifices you can make to think ahead for your future. So if your dream is to have your own property, to have your own place when you're older rather than renting, have enough in the retirement, make sacrifices now in terms of the spending money, okay? Make sure you can invest money or save money and then invest them in, say, a property or something else. I'll do a separate video for the the finance and the think part. I'm not financial advisor, but I just going to be sharing with you my experience. But the point is now, okay, consider, whatever age you are, consider what your future holds or what you want it to hold, and then just make some changes accordingly. Next one is, don't waste time on nothing. And I do mean this, guys. Don't waste time on just pondering about, okay? Life is short. Time is flying by. And what I mean, don't waste your time on nothingness. Don't waste your time doing nothing, okay? Sitting down specifically to relax, take your cup of coffee, sit down, read a book, read a magazine, relax for 5-10 minutes between your work, housework, whatever you're doing. This is absolutely fine. This is purposeful relaxation time, okay? If you're doing stuff, if you're busy, do things, achieve things. Don't just sit there or stand there doing nothing. This is the worst thing you can possibly do in terms of wasting your time, because time is flying and time is precious. So my point is to you, okay, don't find yourself in a situation where you're not doing anything, because not achieving anything is not a good thing, okay? I'm always of a disposition that I feel like I can't just sit down. Okay, I can't just sit down because there's so many things need to be done. You want to plan for things, you want to get somewhere, you want to achieve things. Even the age of 40 plus, I still want to have things. I want to do things. I want to be somewhere and get somewhere at a later age. And I know later, little things you might think it doesn't matter. You might think, well, what's there for me pondering for 10 minutes, 15 minutes? It's not a big deal. But it all adds up. It all adds up. We all say that we need time to do certain things. And some of you will say, well, I don't have time to research how to invest money, or I don't have time to research how to do certain things that you might want to do. But you can find time. By finding the time, I mean just cutting the time when you're doing absolutely nothing. And I'll say this again, guys. Relaxation, sitting down purposefully, spending your time relaxing, enjoying yourself, chilling, absolutely fine. Wasting time, not doing anything, pondering, just standing there staring at the wall, it's not good. Next one is the people opinion of you don't matter. And I did again cover this vaguely in the previous video. Just stop worrying about what people think. And I did the video, I stopped giving a shit what people think. And you know what? I did. And it's honestly, the most liberating thing ever. Stop caring what people think of you. Because people that think of you potentially in not a particularly nice way, they just not matter. What matters is you and your immediate family. Anybody else just don't matter. Because again, people sometimes comment or look at people, just make comments, niggly things, I don't know, because of their bitterness, okay? But that bitterness can then kind of affect you in the way. So before, again, if I knew somebody didn't like me or made a comment, I get a little bit sort of upset and it gets you down. And when you get down, down and downer, right? And you just eat at yourself because it annoys you. It eats you from within. So stop that, okay? Stop caring what other people think, because their actions, whatever they're saying to you, will affect you. You might not even notice that. You might just get a little bit upset, a little bit angry and deal with that. But it will stay within you and it will eat you. So learn to develop that thick skin that people talk about. Thick skin of not worrying and giving a shit what other people think of you. You are you, and all that matters. Next one, guys, is don't doubt yourself. You're better, you're stronger than you think. And I'm talking about anything you want to do, anything you've considered ever doing or accomplishing. Don't doubt yourself that you can't do it. This is the worst thing you can possibly do. You can basically get yourself down before you even started and trying to accomplish something. And I know, guys, I understand a lot of us think it's whatever you're trying to undertake, be it a task or something. You might think, oh my God, I don't know if I can do it. But you know what? Who said you can't? Why doubt yourself before you even started doing this? See, I'm one of those people that I do like to learn certain things, especially now. See, before, for example, if there's something needs drilling, say, or hanging, whatever, that requires using the tools, and it's normally be my husband that will do this for me, because I think, oh, well, because I can do it. Well, I don't know if I can, so automatically he will do this. But there were times that suddenly I decided, do you know what? I want to try it, and I want to know how to do this. And be it with his help or without, you can do it. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Quite a long while back, when we bought one of our houses, we're renovating our kitchen, and I was at home, working from home, and I wanted to do something. And it was stopping me. What was stopping me is the oven, built-in oven in my kitchen. And it was annoying me because I had to wait until the weekend before it gets done because he didn't have time to do it. So I decided to do this myself. And I thought, you know what? I probably can't do it. And do you know what? Who said I can't? And who said I can't give it a go? And this is my point, okay? Do not stop yourself before you even tried. give it a go. So what do you know? I managed to get the whole inbuilt oven, okay, on like my head level, the eye level type thing, and I managed to get this out myself, by myself, and I was super proud of myself. This was my epiphany of people saying, oh, you can't do that. Yes, you can. And the point is to you guys, if anything that you ever want to do, give it a go. And the last one for now, guys, is going to be just be yourself and do not change for anybody. There are loads of people that put pressure on people that expect you, like with the previous thing we talked about, being expectations or people forcing you. Just don't change for anybody. You are you. If people don't like it, they can jolly well bugger off. That's my advice to you. So there we are, guys. This is the first 10 things that I feel I've learned or understood or dealt with. I don't know, whatever you guys gonna call them, lessons or not. Could be lessons. If you find something out of this that you can take on board, absolutely. I'm pretty sure maybe a lot of people of certain age relate to that. I think we all, as we get older, we analyze things a little bit more, and then we can sort of make some conclusions what we could have done slightly differently, but it's still not too late. So if you can, make some changes potentially to make yourself feeling better and dealing with things better, then it's all good. So anyway, guys, I do hope you have found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget thumbs up. Really important for the channel to grow. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.